Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
This is going to be overwhelming for people because we're waiting for the information to pop out of the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging Medicine, and we are going to be treated to a big seminar. And I have Austyn Mcallister, who's the clinical director there. Tell us all about it.
Hi, Anita. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so blessed to be here today and to be speaking to all of your followers. We're going to have an incredible luncheon where Dr. Sears is actually going to release some of his new breakthrough technology that he has developed on curing these incurable diseases. And it's going to be some pretty special information. We're really looking forward to it.
And what would the date be?
So we're going to be here on the 25th of June, and it's going to be at about 11:30. I assume Dr. Sears will lecture for about an hour. We're really privileged to have this time. You know, he's an extremely busy man, and having him available to teach and be there in person is a huge gift. He's also going to be giving away autographed copies of his books and gift bags, packages, discounts, and, of course, we'll be serving lunch as well.
So the 25th is a Tuesday?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I ought to make my reservation now with you because I want to come and hear it.
Well, we could definitely put you down. We would love to have you.
Okay. So let's just tell our listeners what they can expect.
Well, I think, most people that go to different types of seminars expect different things. Dr. Sears is pretty clear with his stuff. We will have, guided tours of the facility. So we have a 14,000 square foot facility here in South Florida, in Royal Palm Beach. So there'll be guided tours of the facility where you can see all of the beautiful, innovative treatment therapy rooms that he's created. And then we will sit everybody down. We will serve a healthy lunch. And then Dr. Sears and his colleague, Dr. Allison Levitt, who is a female physician, they will both present on our new treatment protocols for Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes, and pain and inflammation. These are kind of the things we're focusing on in our practice right now, and we're seeing some really incredible results that, we have been waiting to release this technology and fully harness the potential of what we can do for people. So I think the doctors will probably speak for about an hour and a half or so. And then, afterwards we will have, a raffle. We'll give away some autographed books. We'll have some discounts offered and go from there.
And there'll be lots of questions, and I know that the doctors will answer them. Let me just tell you personally that I did meet Dr. Sears on quite a few occasions, and I actually had the privilege of touring the Institute, and he is a world traveler. I know that, and that's what happens. He finds things that nobody else knows about, which he uses in anti-aging, isn't it?
It's really incredible. He travels the world, and he's gotten things from Bali, from Indonesia, from Africa, from so many different countries, and that's why this is such a privilege, because he's home right now. He's grounded. He's here, and he's available in person to bring some of these, special things that he's found and technologies to reveal them to the public. It's a pretty big deal.
So why don't we do a sneak preview? Just tell us one thing that you know particularly that other physicians have no idea about and couldn't have done it. Just let's tease our listening audience a little bit.
No problem. I would love to do that. I'm really grateful and privileged to have worked with Dr. Sears and Dr. Levitt on the creation of some of these protocols. And I think the biggest thing that we're looking at right now is the launch of HyperStem. HyperStem is the combination of hyperbaric oxygen with stem cells. So we've had a lot of, back and forth with stem cells over the years, but we haven't necessarily been able to activate them the way that we want to. And Dr. Sears has founded and patented a technology that makes a stem cell IV infusion almost 800% more effective. And that is a pretty big deal.
So you don't have a hyperbaric oxygen unit there. You're doing it. You're just...
No, we have a hyperbaric chamber here. Yes, ma'am.
Do you really?
Yes, we do.
Oh, I believe in hyperbaric oxygen so much, and it's amazing how people don't know about it. And the only actual way that Medicare will do anything is if it has a wound. Someone has a wound, but they don't understand how perfect it is. In fact, I know some plastic surgeons that have small little oxygen, not the whole hyperbaric oxygen unit, but little oxygen that they give their patients after they've had surgery. So we know that oxygen is so important. And so now you're telling me that he's using this to help when the stem cells are provided, that it will really make it go even deeper and faster.
Well, of course it does. So you can imagine when you're putting new baby cells into an environment, if that environment is more highly oxygenated, what kind of effect that will have. And the usage of oxygen is so underutilized in today's society. And like you very clearly said, it's only FDA approved. Off-label usages are, it's only FDA approved for wound care and for traumatic brain injuries.
Yes.
And we have so much proof that it does so many more things. And you spoke about the oxygen delivered in plastic surgeons' offices. I mean, we have a lot of people that just send their patients here just to lay in the chamber because those other usages of oxygen, such as the soft shell chamber that you zip yourself in or the tank that you breathe in, don't have nearly the therapeutic effects that hyperbaric oxygen has because it's obaric, meaning under pressure, so delivered, systemically to all of your cells, bathing them all in oxygen, creating new microvasculature, new blood vessel growth, and more blood flow, more oxygen, more life. You think that in combination with stem cells, and you really see some phenomenal things. I get to see them every day, and it's pretty incredible.
Well, Austyn, I know why you're the clinical director. You are incredible. I mean, the information and your articulation is superior. So how long have you been working with Dr. Sears?
I've been working with Dr. Sears for a couple of years now, and I can't say enough about him. I think that, not only is he a pioneer in this field, but, we share the same passion in delivering these natural solutions to our patients in an unnatural world and, providing them with the experiences that they need to heal their body and allowing their body to heal itself with its own repair kit. So, I'm very grateful for your kind words and very grateful to be a member of this team.
Yeah. Tell me what your address is because people are going to want to have an idea in Royal Palm Beach.
Okay, so we are located at 11905 Southern Boulevard, and that's in Royal Palm Beach, area code 33411. And I always tell everyone we are behind the Farm Credit Building. We have a beautiful 14,000 square foot facility there. It's called the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging Medicine. On a body of water tucked back off the road there behind the Farm Credit Building off of Southern Boulevard.
Yes, I've been there, as I said, and it is very beautiful. And I know he designed everything the way he wanted it to be so that he can do his work. And I know he has written, how many books has he written?
34 books. 34 books. Yes.
I mean, I knew he wrote books, but 34 books?
Yes, and we are in the process of a couple new ones. And, the book that we will be, focusing on is his original, best-selling book, which was The Doctor's Heart Cure, which is, the kind of the book that brought him to the party and the original part of the game. So we'll be offering autographed copies of that book when, talking about this hyperstem treatment in conjunction with, heart disease at the lecture on the 26th.
Well, we need to feature his book as a book of the month in Boomer Times sometimes. You and I can talk about that.
Do that.
Yeah, that I can have a conversation about that because I know that he's written books, but I think I may have gotten one at one time, but I don't have them in my library, so we will have to look at that. Well, now
we will make sure that you have a full library, Miss Anita.
Thank you very much, Austyn. The other thing, though, that I think is really important is a lot of people don't understand the new anti-aging medicine. They really see it as something like you take an aspirin and you take, some other kinds of natural medicine. I mean, I know I do turmeric and I do garlic and all, but I know that Dr. Sears is really into mushrooms, different things that only he has discovered.
Right. Well, you know what? I think that's a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up because I think there's a lot of fear around, anti-aging medicine, regenerative medicine, holistic medicine. And I think that fear just comes from the unknown. And I always tell my patients, knowledge is power. And that's what Dr. Sears is so good about is getting his information out there. And he's really been on a conquest to get information to people for years. We have our monthly publication, our daily publication. He spends almost all of his time writing. So, I think that learning about these things is where the power is for people, and that takes the sort of skepticism and fear out of people, is understanding that, oh my gosh, wow, I can take something like turmeric, like you just mentioned, for inflammation instead of, a traditional over-the-counter NSAID. And, it's not anybody's fault. They are, a product of the system, just like everyone else. They go into the doctor's office, the doctor prescribes a prescription, and that's what they do. It takes a special breed of person to kind of look further and look into it. And that's where we come in, is combining, Dr. Sears' talents as a traditional MD, but also as an alternative, altruistic physician who is looking at, really, really changing people's lives and bringing them options, different choices of things that they can do besides take medications. And we do have access to so many unique herbs and things like that. And all of that stuff is here in the Institute for sale, and also all of his publications. And then also, online, you can become a member of his, his monthly or weekly newsletters, and you get tons of information there. And that's where I think that's what takes the fear out of it.
Does he ever sleep?
Not very much, I have to say. He's been on a conquest since he was a kid to be a good doctor, and I think that he has far surpassed that. But, we've been doing a lot of extra stuff. He's doing a lot of charity work with, animal and plant conservatories around and things like that. So we've been extra busy with the creation of these new programs and all of the things that we're doing, but we're so excited to be able to give back. I mean, that's why we're here, and that's why he built this institute, and that's, why we do what we do.
Well, this luncheon should be pretty spectacular, so I'm just going to mention it, and it's on Tuesday, the 25th of this month, and it's out there at his institute, the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging Medicine. The number to call is 561-784-7852. Again, that's 561-784-7852. And if you want to know more, go on to SearsInstitute.com. I was just thinking as you were talking, he probably ought to do a weekly radio show with me so that he could get all that information out himself. He has a great voice. He's a great speaking. He's quite articulate. And as you were talking, I thought, my goodness, he's got, I know he doesn't have a lot of time, but he really ought to be doing that. So we'll talk about that.
He may, Anita, he may have me doing it. That's what may happen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, you would be great, too, because he's too involved in other things. So what you're doing is taking his information and
That's
doing
right.
it. Well, that would be fun. I mean, I don't know if you're up to that.
We had a radio show last year. I did it for a year, Secrets in Regenerative Medicine, and it was quite popular. It was, it was really great. As we got bigger, and things got busier, I got pulled away from it. But we should definitely talk about doing that in the future. We look for every avenue we can to get our information out to people.
Sure.
That's really where we feel like we can contribute, is at least give them some stuff to think about before they make the decisions that they have to make.
Right. And what was the name of the show, and where did you do the radio?
With Secrets of Regenerative Medicine, and we did it at it was the at Alpha Media Radio, something like that.
Oh, was it actually on live on radio like this? Oh,
yes.
I don't know where that is, but okay. So maybe we're going to have to pull you back in there, because there is something magical about radio. And then, of course, every radio show we do goes on YouTube.
Nice.
So we
can definitely talk about that for sure.
That would be great. And if you would come into my studio, we'll put you on Facebook Live also.
Great.
So we'll talk about that also. I'm so glad that we were able to get this arranged. And we will be hearing from Austyn again next week, too, because we want to make sure everybody knows what this is all about. Let's go back to some of the interesting topics, because that's what people, so many people are invited to events and they don't, it's just so many people give things away, but they don't wind up with lots of good information, which I know Dr. Sears has. And of course, and I do know Dr. Levitt. I've seen her when she was in Boca Raton, and she's very smart. And that's interesting that he hooked up with her.
Yes, they are a very dynamic duo and a force to be reckoned with, I have to say. The two of them have together they're some of the most intelligent, talented doctors I've ever met in my career, and I've been doing this a very long time. So I'm really excited to see them co-lecture. This is going to be one of the first times that they co-lecture together. Because, usually, like I said, Dr. Sears is so busy and Dr. Levitt is so busy treating patients. So we're very, very excited at the potential of having both of them here to share their knowledge and their, experience, strength, and hope.
So you said that this event was a luncheon, but when should people plan on being there?
The event starts at 11:30,
Okay.
so I would say everyone should get here around 11.
Okay, 11:30 to, what, about 2 o'clock?
I would say 1 o'clock is probably sufficient.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think, Dr. Sears will probably talk for about an hour, and Dr. Levitt maybe half an hour. I'm not sure.
Okay, just so people have an idea on their calendar how to do this.
We'll do some Q&A. We'll take questions, and, there'll be a little meet and greet with the doctors, and we'll give away some prizes. And, so maybe it will go into 2 o'clock. I'm not sure. But the lecture itself shouldn't be much longer than an hour or so.
All right. Now, did I imagine, or did you say something about pets, that he's doing things for pets also?
Pets?
Yeah, little doggies and cats. Did you?
No, we're
you
not
didn't say
treating
something. I thought I heard it. That's okay.
I'm sorry. We're not treating any animals in the facility. I mean, we do make recommendations. Of course, we have people who say, "Can I give this to my dog?
Right.
Can I give this to my cat?"
Right.
And of course, we do make recommendations. Help them with questions they may have about, what could help naturally. But we don't treat any injured animals in the facility, unfortunately. Although we would love to. He's doing a lot of local charity work with some of the natural animal and plant conservatories here, and saving some endangered species and things like that outside of the practice.
But that was my other question. So some of the formulas that he has, do you believe that they could be good for pets as well?
Of course.
And so he would recommend that.
I think depending on the situation, there's no question that you guys that you guys couldn't ask them when you're in the room. A lot of people, want to, they come here and they're so blown away by the institute and the power and the knowledge that the doctors have, that they say, hey, my sister has this, my mom has this, my dog has this, and while you're here having your consultation, there's no reason why we can't answer a few questions about those things for you.
I'm sure that you're in on consultations. Just hearing you, I know that this is what you do. I mean, they can't keep you down on the form. I know that. I mean, now that I've spoken with you, it's like, okay, just get a hook.
Yeah, we have a lot of patients, and I do help them as much as I can with that area, and help them see patients. And I do a lot of dietary and nutritional consultations and things like that to help them with the overflow when we get busy. So I'm very involved in patient care, and I care a lot about the type of service that we provide. We strive to provide a 5-star excellent experience, and we're a very luxurious, more of a spa-like institute, and it takes somebody to go the extra mile to provide that kind of service.
So tell me a little bit about your background. What made you so passionate about this? Where did you grow up?
Well, I actually grew up, I'm a military brat, so I grew up all over the place, but I'm originally from the Deep South and from Tennessee, and I started my studies in cardiovascular exercise physiology. So I started my studies in traditional medicine and background, and when I started working there, I absolutely did not want to be there anymore, and I migrated my way to physical medicine and did a lot of natural work there, and saw the healing potential powers of what natural medicine could do. And I decided to start my own business where I helped doctors to integrate natural therapies into their traditional practices. And I kind of made it my passion to be an educator. And then I went to functional medicine school and learned all about herbs and how they work, and diet and food and things like that. And I used that in my career to help my patients to heal and to get well naturally. And then Dr. Sears and I met, and when we met, it was like lightning struck, and we knew we were in the right place. And
I can imagine.
And he said, you got to come be here with me. And I did. I closed my business and I came to be with him, and we've been together since. And Dr. Levitt's come on board with us since then, and we're all on this conquest and journey together, and gratefully so. I'm grateful that I can be here. My goal was always to be somewhere that I knew that my patients were really, really being taken care of the right way. And, that's what we have here. We have doctors that really care, and doctors that go the extra mile, and doctors that offer different solutions. And, that's myself. I believe in my core that, everyone's body has their own ability to heal itself, and we should do that first, always, before, some type of interventional or conventional medicine.
Well, you've gotten me very excited, and I want to join the journey with all of you because it sounds
come on and join us.
I know. I'm just thinking about that, but no, you really hit the spot. I can imagine when he met you that his eyes were blinking. He said, "Oh my God, how do I get her here?" I know.
Yeah, I felt the same about him. He blew me away too. He's an incredibly brilliant man, and very generous and very passionate and driven, and has all his motives and his heart are all in the right place, and that's so rare in a doctor. It really is.
So let's just talk about if a person wants to be his patient.
Huh?
If a person wants to be his patient, what would they have to do? I mean, it isn't just general medicine, is it? What kind of medicine is regenerative medicine? What would he?
We call what we do regenerative medicine, yes. But we do any type of thing. I mean, we treat people who are completely healthy, who come here and just say, I don't want to get old. I don't want to have these problems. We treat people that have no issues whatsoever, that just want to be healthy. And then we also treat patients that are extremely ill, with complex cancers, and they're done with chemo or, complex, regional pain syndromes, diabetes, heart disease, people that have had, 5 and 6 cardiovascular surgeries and do not want to go under the knife again. All kinds of things we treat. Rare forms of autoimmune conditions. I wouldn't say there's anything that we don't treat.
This is very important information. Very, very important information. I am so glad that we were able to make this happen so quickly.
I am too. It's my pleasure.
My guest is Austyn Mcallister, and I have to tell everyone it's spelled Austyn, so you can see she's different. She's special. She's the clinical director over there at the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging Medicine. And if you want to be a part of this event, hopefully you'll be available. If not, you can still call and make an appointment separately, but it's 561-784-7852. That's 784-7852. Or you can go online to SearsInstitute.com, see what they're doing. Now, if you want to go to this wonderful event on Tuesday, June the 25th, it starts at 11:30. There'll be lunch, but there'll be such fantastic information that you'll not believe it, knowing Dr. Sears and, of course, knowing Dr. Levitt. But their address it's over there at 11905, and that's Southern Boulevard in Royal Palm Beach. It's right along that area. You'll be able to find it. Just get Siri, and Siri will take you there. So I'm so happy that I've been able to bring our listeners this kind of information, because I've always been on the cutting edge. In fact, I've had cure symposiums, and I've been bringing in the smartest physicians and medical practitioners that I know in South Florida. And, of course, Dr. Sears would be one when we do our next one, definitely. So we'll talk about that also. But anything that is cutting edge, we want to talk about now. We want people to live to be 100 plus, but in a very high quality health, right?
That's wonderful, Anita. And I'm grateful to you for you being on a mission to get that information to people, because that is absolutely what we want.
Right, and you do it actually cutting edge. See, that's the difference. A lot of people have used the anti-aging slogan, but they're not doing anything like Dr. Sears. He truly is someone that, I don't know how long he's been working in this field of anti-aging. I know that it was
26 years
I was just going to say about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember the whole new convention that had a lot of doctors saying, "Oh, I don't know about that. I'll go and try it." And most of them actually got hooked. They said, "Oh my goodness, this is a whole new way to look at things."
It is. It is. It is a whole new way to look at things. And you know what is really beautiful about it is it works.
Yeah. Yeah, you've seen that, haven't you? And of course,
I see it every day.
And he's very big into stem cells, which is another big discussion. We haven't really covered that much, but stem cells really can be the answer for people.
Stem cells are we believe here at the Institute that stem cells are the forefront of healing. I mean, they are the most powerful tool that you have, but you have to do it. We've harnessed the potential of that with doing it with other therapies, and that's what's making it more effective. You know, stem cells have been around for a long time, but they're not really we haven't really been able to get them to do exactly what we know they can do until now. You know, with the release of this hyperstem technology that Dr. Sears has patented, you guys are really going to see some big results and some big headlines and some big splashes being made.
Right, hyperstem, that's terrific. Well, we need some articles in Boomer Ties. We need some radio shows. So we're gonna continue, but we do have another radio show that we're going to do next Saturday. So everybody just hold on to your hats. And if you like this, you're going to love meeting Dr. Sears and Dr. Levitt and going there. And, of course, meeting Austyn Mcallister.
Yes, I look forward to meeting you all. And I'm so glad that I was able to do this today with you.
I was also. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.